All right, I'm Scott from South Florida Insider, and I'm here with
Dan from Hoobastank.
So first off, I mean, you've already mentioned it. It was kind of the first thing I was going to mention. Got to kind of catch you off guard here. We're not sunny South Florida. It's getting a bit chilly, huh?
You know what? It's very similar to LA right now, where we're from. And we looked up the weather here before we came, and we saw that it was going to be very similar. But today's the first day I'm not wearing long johns underneath my jeans. You know, I've been wearing long johns since November at home because it's been in LA. It's been that cold, so I am a little chilly right now.
So I mean, you're used to this though. This isn't anything special. It's another day in the office, so to speak.
The weather or the show?
The weather. Hopefully not this show. Another day in the office. I'm hoping you're bringing something lively and special for our South Florida crowd tonight.
Of course. Did you see all the plants? We brought those. Look, they're setting them up right now. And that's the weirdest thing too. What the hell are they bringing these plants in here for? I saw them when we were doing sound check on stage. See, there's that one up on right there. By mid show, I'm gonna bring them all in the middle of the stage. I think I'm gonna start pulling them out.
Nice. So tell me what's going on with the band. I mean, you know, we know the heyday was the '90s, but you guys have been rocking for a while. It's still a chart topping. But what's going on now? Because I know it's already 6 albums deep. When's lucky number 7?
Well, we're writing right now. I mean, we're not writing. Let's get together and write. We all have the technology to write at home, recording stuff. So we get together and we take those ideas and we try to make something out of them. And hopefully we'll put something together in the next several months. But yeah, I mean, we still tour. We tour a lot. We tour outside the U.S. a lot. We go to Asia, Southeast Asia, Europe, South America. We just went to, and it's just been a lot of fun, man. I'm a grown-ass adult that still like goes to summer camp. It seems like.
So does that mean, playing in all these other countries, I know they can sing the words in English, but I'm getting they probably don't know what the hell is being said, or maybe they do, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised. I think that, you know, when I was a kid, I remember feeling like outside of America, nobody spoke English, nobody understood, but it's not true. Everybody speaks English, everybody understands it, for the most part. And we're really, 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 really spoiled that way. Everywhere I've been, I've managed to navigate without speaking that language fluently. I'll do my best if I'm in Japan, and I'll point at things and I'll ask them I'll ask questions if I can, if I know the language. But you'd be really surprised where you go, and they just kind of know it. And they also get a lot of American television and movies. It's kind of how they learn it.
Which is funny because it's not really the other way around. Somewhat. Our entertainment goes over there, but I don't think we're importing a lot of their stuff. It's not that we got this Japanese band, this Asian band rocking out here.
You know why though? It's because we're arrogant, and I'm not saying that proudly. It just kind of sucks because there's a lot of amazing stuff outside the United States. No disrespect to what's inside the United States because it's absolutely amazing, but yeah, there's a Japanese band that we're friends with called One OK Rock. One OK Rock is what they're called, and they might be the first band to make it over here and do really, like, they're young Japanese dudes, like killer live players, killer songs, and I think that you might hear these things.
So that means we're gonna have them latch on one of your upcoming tours in the future, maybe then?
I think that you might hear them and we might have to go out with them. I think that they might be the headliner. I don't know. I mean, they're one of those bands, yeah. Like, and you're totally right. Yeah, stuff doesn't come here from Japan. You're not going like, wow, that band's amazing. But there's amazing stuff there. There's another Japanese band called Man with a Mission, and these dudes wear these wolf helmets, like wolf masks. And they're not only amazing musicians, their songs are bitchin', their energy is insane. So stuff like that, you know, I think if Americans just saw it and invested the time in it, I think that they would fall in love.
Yeah, and with that said, I mean, you guys aren't one of those bands that necessarily need to throw on a wolf mask or anything to really be heard. How come you guys never try that trademark weird outfit or anything? Is that just like, that's not us, or have you guys ever been approached something crazy like that?
We actually, when we first started, because we started the band in 1994, and for 5 years we played locally in our local towns and stuff, and in Hollywood. And at that time, we actually dressed up. We were so goofy back then. We were young. We were 17, 18 years old. We were into upbeat, like funkier stuff, and a band in particular, Mr. Bungle. We were into this band, Mr. Bungle, and they were just bizarre, just strange dudes. So I don't know what happened. One day we were at the grocery store or something, and I ended up buying a bunch of Halloween costumes that were for 14-year-old kids. We just sucked it in and stuffed into them, and we would go out as superheroes. So we would play. There's footage of us performing like at the Whiskey in Hollywood, and I'm Batman. Doug, our singer, is Robin. Our drummer is Spider-Man. Our bass player, our original bass player, was the Incredible Hulk. And I shit you not, he painted himself green. And yeah, so we used to do that quite a bit. We would do different things. We would dress up as like in giant. Everybody had giant sombreros on, and we did like a Mexican fiesta type of thing with ponchos on. And it was. I mean, we used to do that shit, but then we just grew up. Stopped doing it.
So it never gets to that point where it's like, man, I want like a nostalgic kind of like reminisce of the band way back when and just bring it out on stage, like that Halloween themed show. You guys dress up as I don't know, like all food condiments or something.
Well, you know what? If we were to do a Halloween show, I think that we would really contemplate dressing up as something. Maybe one of those old costumes, because I still have a bunch of them at home. I have a bunch. We actually had made basketball outfits for us, like jerseys with our names, like in the band name on the back or on the front, and numbers, and the little shorts that came up to here, you know, afro wigs, and we would go out and play shows like that. Like, I mean, I'm talking 1997, 98, but and we weren't known very well at that time, but we got known.
How does it feel? I mean, that this many years since, I mean, we had songs like The Reason, Crawling in the Dark, Running Away, and all that, and still to this day, I mean, it's clinging to people. That music hasn't faded. It's got to be such a great feeling seeing the longevity of that, and newer fans, younger fans latching onto that, and definitely some of the new music like Fight or Flight's album.
Yeah, I just recently saw some young fan that came across us for the first time and was like, Hoobastank is what I love, and blah, blah. And I'm going like, how the hell did you not know about us before? Your parent. But it's so cool though. I didn't mean that because we're huge and we're everywhere. I just meant that, like, how do you discover us now? Like, how do you just, as a 15-year-old, discover this band now? But it's because of all the, you know, Pandora or Apple Music or whatever connects you to other. You know, I'm listening to this band right here, and the next song, because I'm listening to this, the next song just happens to be a Hoobastank song, and turns this girl on to Hoobastank. So that's really cool, and I hope that continues, because that didn't really exist too much, I feel like, when I was a kid, unless my dad played something, like unless I was listening to something that my dad was playing, but I never was on a computer. There weren't computers when I was a kid. I didn't have an iPhone. There wasn't shit.
Could you ever see, I mean, you said all of you guys are writing right now. Have you ever, because of your presence on social media, ever heard something so outrageous or something so cool that it may have inspired a song? Like you actually had a fan almost build a song off of what you guys read or heard?
I haven't, no. It's very possible that, I can't think of it right this second, but it is very possible that there's a song lyrically about something about that. I don't think so, though. So probably not.
What about the stuff that you guys are writing? I mean, have you guys really looked upon each other's work right now and kind of like trying to figure out between all these different lyrics, all these different instrumentals, where you guys are going with it? Is this evolving from the last album to something completely different, or is it when you listen to it, it's like, dude, this is Hoobastank?
I mean, it's a bit of both. I think it's gonna be different than the last record, but I think that once you hear the vocals and you hear Doug's voice, you hear the band. Oh, okay. I think musically things will be different. Things will just be, you know, oh, this is a new approach to this sound or whatever. And yeah.
And it's pretty cool too, because I heard I guess one of the tour managers or something came out a little bit earlier, overheard during sound check. I mean, he sounded great, but I understand he's pretty sick.
Oh yeah. Our singer Doug is really sick. We flew out here yesterday, and I saw him at the airport, and he was just like, you could just tell he wasn't doing well. And he said, he's like, I'm feeling awful. And he was like laying in the fetal position at the airport. He's just like, I've been throwing up all day, or last night and all morning, and I've been snotting, and he can't, you know, he couldn't. He's clearing his throat. He has a bunch of shit in his throat. And so he's been really I mean, you know, it's got to mess with your head when your job is to sing and get get out this voice that everybody has heard on this song or on this song or on this song, and you can't reach those notes because you lost your voice or you're sick and it's not all there. So he's been to like 2 doctors, I think. He's gotten about 3 shots. He got a cortisone shot, he got something in his arm, something in his ass. I'm not really sure, but we did sound check. I heard a couple things here and there while he was singing, you know, but for the most part I thought he sounded okay. There was a couple times I was like, shit, but he almost, you know, we up until we showed up here, we weren't, it was like, I don't think we're gonna be able to play the show, I don't think we're gonna play, and then he just was like, you know what, the easiest thing to do is to, he texted us all, he goes, the easiest thing is to not play it. He goes, working through this is harder. He goes, so I'm inclined to work through it, you know. Okay, yeah, and that's been, I feel like that's something more that we kind of, like our mentality now is like, if the norm for us is to go that way, like, it's just easier to do this, we'll almost intentionally go this way now, you know.
So it's almost like when you're reading these scouting reports, it can be the NFL and you're checking an injury report. I'm not going to mention if some guy's got a cold and stuff. And I mean, you guys as band members, if there's a show, you guys got like a little cough or whatever it is. I mean, that's not getting disclosed. This is like a really legit illness, but yet the show must go on. Is that kind of always the rule of thumb?
Yes and no. I mean, I like to be pretty transparent and open and honest with people because if you can't sing every single thing, it needs the crowd's participation in some of it. At least they understand why. Like, we made an effort anyways. We almost canceled. We almost didn't even come. But because that's not what we want to do and that's not what, it's not the right thing to do. You know, the right thing to do is to play the show, considering he can do it, you know. But, so yeah.
Would you have to wheel him out in a gurney or something like that? I mean, the only way to get him off the stage?
I hope he barfs on stage, man. It would be so amazing to see.
Social media.
And then he just keeps singing. He goes on right after. He vomits and just keeps going.
Yeah, and just licks it. It's like this.
So you're not worried about the effect. I mean, most people see somebody barf, everybody starts barfing. What if it's like a domino effect? Everybody's puking.
You know that'd be amazing. You guys have a camera, so you better have a little bit of charge and room left on that memory stick. So I want to, you know, I think capturing all that, like the entire room barfing at a concert would be so good.
And just wrapping it up for fans, anything in the future? I know you guys are already writing. Any other projects that you guys got going on? Another big tour or anything like that?
This is actually it for right now. This is the last show that we have for right now. And then our plan is to work more on some of these new ideas and hopefully get into a studio and record them and then get back out on the road. You know, we'll be touring this year, probably outside the U.S. a bunch as well. Yeah, man, I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. It's like, I want to do all these things. We all want to do all these things, and it just takes time. And
going through the checklist.
Yeah, and you know, we'll get there when we get there. I think that we're all really just happy that we can tour at times, and then we could stay at home with our families at times, and then we can go to Asia at times, and then we can come home with our families, and then we can go to Peru, and then we can go to Florida, and then we can come home with our families. We've toured so much through our career, you know, starting in 2000, 16 years ago, that in the early days of the first record and the second record and the third record, we were on the road so often that it was painful. We were never home, and we're homebodies, you know. We were never home. We never saw families. We missed out on everybody's weddings, birthdays, graduations, bar mitzvahs, fucking whatever you want to think of. We missed it. Family member. I missed my sister's wedding because of this band, you know, like, that's fucked up.
And that's before FaceTime and all that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, totally. It was on our first tour ever. You know, there's things that like that I look back on and I kind of regret, but at the end of the day, it's like I go look at this. I don't have to wake up any day of the week and take a shower and eat breakfast and go to a job. That rules, you guys. I mean,
Priceless.
What's that?
Priceless.
Yeah, I mean, so when I think about it like that, I'm not trying to be a dick and arrogant about it or anything. I'm just trying to be like, this is what it is. We're not the band. We're not as, you know, as humongous as we may have been, or our songs might not be on whatever. But we still tour and we still make a living doing music, and it's fucking great. You know, it's really cool. We all get along really well. You know, 3 out of the 4 of us have known each other forever since we were kids. You know, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, man. I look forward to watching you guys puke on stage.